All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am Sarabjit Kaur and with me is Sunil Verma. The headlines. Home Minister Amit Shah says 20,000 beds will be added in the national capital by next week for COVID patients. Testing labs for corona goes up to 1,000 across the country. Tamil Nadu government imposes 7 days of complete lockdown in Madurai beginning today. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh says Indo-Russia ties are based on special and privileged strategic partnership. Russia supports India's bid for a permanent seat in UN Security Council. Government decides to reduce staff strength of Pakistan High Commission in New Delhi by 50%. Union Home Minister Amit Shah has said that around 20,000 beds, including 250 ICU beds for COVID-19 patients, will be added in the national capital by next week. Home Minister said that 10,000 bedded COVID care centre at Radha Swami Byas at Chhatarpur of Delhi will be operational by 26th of this month. He said the work is in full swing and a large part of the facility will be operational by Friday. Mr. Shah said this in a tweet while replying to a letter written by Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal inviting Mr. Shah to inspect the COVID care centre at Chhatarpur. Delhi Chief Minister had also requested for deployment of doctors and nurses from ITBP and Army at the centre. Mr. Shah said Home Ministry has already assigned the work of operating the COVID care centre at Radha Swami Byas to ITBP. The Home Minister said that 1,000-bed full-fledged hospital with 250 ICU beds for COVID-19 infected persons will be ready by next week. He said DRDO and Tata Trust are building the facility with the support of the central government. He said armed forces personnel will man it and this COVID care centre will be ready in next 10 days. He said armed forces personnel have been detailed for providing medical care and attention to the infected persons housed in the railway coaches in the national capital. He said 8,000 additional beds have already been placed at Delhi government's disposal for making COVID care centres as per requirement. Meanwhile, a total of 3,947 new cases of COVID-19 have been reported in Delhi, taking the total number to 66,602. 68 deaths were reported in the past 24 hours in the national capital. So far, a total of 39,313 patients have recovered.
West Bengal government has called an all-party meeting today to discuss COVID situation in the state. The meeting assumes significance in view of continuous rise in the number of cases in the state. This is the second all-party meeting convened by the state government in the wake of the pandemic. A report.
The all-party meeting is likely to discuss on various issues to bring back further normalcy and to expedite economic activities. The Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is likely to seek suggestions from the leaders of political parties on resumption of local and metro train services. She is also likely to apprise them on present COVID and post-Amphan situation in the state. The opposition political parties may raise the issues of migrant laborers and workers belonging to the unorganized sectors. Arijit Chakraborty, AIR News, Kolkata.
India is fighting against COVID-19 with active participation of the states and union territories. Many states have evolved various strategies within the larger framework of advisories, guidelines and protocols suggested by the centre. Odisha has taken several measures which led to reduction in COVID-19 cases and low mortality rates. Here is a report from our correspondent.
Under the guidance of the centre, the Odisha government has focused its anti-COVID measures by actively using of IT, empowering the local sarpanchs, building its skilled healthcare force through community participation and protecting the vulnerable groups. One of the key initiatives taken by the government is that Bhubaneswar Municipal Corporation has developed a mobile app Sachetak to keep comorbid and elderly citizens of the city under high scrutiny. Through this app, citizens can explore resources on COVID protection, consult doctors, view updates on COVID quarantine, positive cases and so on. The government also operated a telemedicine helpline service 14410 in addition to the 104 helpline with the help of over 300 qualified medical professionals. So far, it has trained 1,72,000 health personnel to provide health care to COVID patients. State government has delegated powers of district collectors to sarpanchs of Gram Panchayats under Disaster Management Act 2005 to monitor quarantine regulations. Tapan Maharana, AR News, Cuttack.
In Chhattisgarh, the recovery rate of COVID-19 patients has improved to about 65%, while the mortality rate is 0.5%. The state reported 83 cases in the last 24 hours. With this, the total number of coronavirus cases in the state has increased to 2,439. A total of 1,527 patients were discharged after recovery. The number of active cases in the state is 846. So far, 12 people have died in Chhattisgarh.
In Gujarat, the number of COVID-19 cases has gone up to 28,429 after 549 new cases came up yesterday. 26 patients lost their lives in the state yesterday. 604 patients were discharged from various hospitals yesterday, taking the total number of patients recovered from COVID-19 in the state to 20,521. In Bihar, the number of corona cases has gone up to 8,050, with 157 fresh cases reported in last 24 hours. Out of these, 48 new cases were detected in Patna. 6,027 patients have recovered and were discharged from various hospitals, while 1,969 patients are undergoing treatment. In Tamil Nadu, 7-day full lockdown in Madurai came into effect midnight last night. It will be enforced till the end of this month. The move is aimed at containing the recent surge in fresh COVID-19 cases in the city and its suburbs. Tamil Nadu witnessed 2,516 new COVID-19 cases yesterday, taking the total to 64,603. Details from our correspondent.
Madurai joins Chennai in the state in going for the complete lockdown, which many say is a lockdown within the lockdown. The reason being the soaring new cases of COVID-19. The measure is aimed at breaking the chain of the spread of the elusive virus. Along with Madurai, its suburbs and adjacent villages also come under the intensified lockdown as they form a contiguous area. However, retail outlets of essentials can function up to 2 p.m., including fuel stations. Health facilities can function without any restrictions, though vehicular movement is permitted back to the minimum. Meanwhile, the State Chief Minister Edappadi Palaniswamy is slated to interact with all the district collectors today to review the current situation. Jai Singh, AR News, Chennai.
Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, has advised all state governments, public and private institutions and hospitals to take required steps to scale up testing for COVID-19. It has asked them to deploy a combination of various tests, which includes real-time RT-PCR, rapid antigen testing and antibody testing for sero-survey. ICMR said, test, track and treat is the only way to prevent spread of COVID-19 infection and save lives. It said that the testing should be made widely available to all symptomatic individuals in every part of the country. The contact tracing mechanism for containment of infection has to be further strengthened. Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, has said that it has now facilitated setting up 1,000 laboratories across the country for testing COVID-19 samples. In a tweet, ICMR termed it as a major milestone towards enhanced testing in the country. It added that there are 730 government labs and 270 private labs for testing. The ICMR also said there was only one lab for testing on 23rd January this year, 160 labs on 23rd March, and now the number has reached 1,000 labs. It has advised all states, public and private institutions and hospitals to take required steps to scale up testing for COVID-19.
In our series Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you the views of the leading medical experts on COVID-19. Talking to AIR News, Dr. Ambuj Roy of Cardiology Department, AIIMS, advised the elderly people and those suffering from other diseases like hypertension and cancer to take extra precautions to avoid the infection.
in the larger population, it has given them time to understand the seriousness of the disease, the precautions they need to take, how to live with this. They have practiced social distancing. The people who already have heart disease, people who have had brain strokes, people who have lung disease, people who have some kind of cancer, they're much more prone to a more severe form of the disease if they get the disease.
Dr. Naresh Gupta of LNJP Hospital, Delhi, suggested to maintain hygiene and social distancing.
खांसने के समय ऐसा खांसना छींकना चाहिए कि दूसरे के ऊपर नहीं जाए। टिश्यू पेपर रखे, रुमाल रखे, कोहनी रखे, बचाव करे। एक इसमें और चीज आती है, वो आती है डिस्टेंसिंग का। जब वो खांसता छींकता है तो 1 से 2 मीटर तक वो जा सकती है। अगर आप पहले 1-2 मीटर का फासला बना के रखेंगे तो उसका आपके तक पहुंचने का अंदेशा बहुत कम हो जाता है। जो कॉन्टेक्ट ट्रांसमिशन की बात आई फॉर्माइट से, उसके लिए हम कहते हैं कि आप हाथ साफ करें। हाथ अगर आप धोते रहेंगे तो उसमें जो वायरस है वो साबुन पानी के द्वारा निकलता रहेगा, और उसके साथ साथ अगर जरूरत समझे या पानी नहीं हो तो आप सैनिटाइजर का इस्तेमाल भी कर सकते हैं।
All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, has decided to resume its OPD services for follow-up patients from tomorrow after being shut down for almost 3 months. AIIMS had shut down its OPD services from March 24th as part of its effort towards redirecting its resources to control the COVID-19 outbreak. AIIMS director has approved resumption of physical appointments for follow-up patients not to exceed 15 per day for any department initially, which will be enhanced in a few days. Besides, requisite appointments for limited number of new patients will also be given for those departments who wish to start physical OPD consultation. However, no appointments will be given for evening specialty clinics in the first phase of OPD reopening. AIIMS has also said that it will be the prerogative of the departments to call patients directly or screen them through teleconsultation before giving a physical appointment. However, if an appointment is given from the department, the departmental appointment list will have to be intimated to the computer facility and faculty in charge of the OPD 48 hours in advance.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Home Minister Amit Shah says 20,000 beds will be added in the national capital by next week for COVID patients. Testing labs for corona go up to 1,000 across the country. Tamil Nadu government imposes 7 days of complete lockdown in Madurai beginning today. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh says Indo-Russia ties are based on special and privileged strategic partnership. Russia supports India's bid for a permanent seat in UN Security Council, and government decides to reduce staff strength of Pakistan High Commission in New Delhi by 50%. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
अपने साथ अपनों का ध्यान रखो, बड़े बुजुर्गों का तुम ध्यान रखो, तो बात करो, कुछ मदद करो, कोरोना के चलते याद रखो, घर से निकलो तो मास्क पहनना, मास्क के पीछे मुस्कुराना, सुरक्षित दादा दादी नाना नानी अभियान, अपने साथ अपनों का ध्यान।
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said that India and Russia share relationship based on special and privileged strategic partnership. Defence Minister was speaking to media in Moscow yesterday after meeting Russian Deputy Prime Minister Yuri Borisov.
भारत और रशिया का एक स्पेशल एंड प्रिविलेज स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप वाला रिलेशनशिप है। हमारा डिफेंस रिलेशनशिप इसका एक महत्वपूर्ण पिलर है। मुझे भरोसा दिलाया गया है ऑनगोइंग कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को मेंटेन किया जाएगा, और न केवल मेंटेन किया जाएगा बल्कि उनको और तेजी से कम समय में पूरा भी किया जाएगा।
Mr. Singh, who is on a 3-day visit to Russia to attend the 75th anniversary of Victory Day Parade, said his visit to Moscow is the first foreign visit of an official delegation from India after the outbreak of COVID-19. Terming it as a sign of special friendship, Mr. Singh said, despite all the difficulties of the pandemic, bilateral relations between India and Moscow have been keeping good contacts at various levels. He said during the meeting, Indo-Russian defence cooperation was reviewed and plans to further extend it was discussed. affirming defense relationship as one of the important pillars in the relationship between the two countries. Mr. Singh informed that Indian proposals have received positive responses from the Russian side. He asserted that the traditional friendship between India and Russia remains strong and both countries continue to cooperate on mutual and shared interests. Defense Minister said he is looking forward to participate in the 75th Victory Parade, wherein an Indian military contingent will be marching in the Red Square today. He conveyed greetings to the people of Russia and especially the veterans who he said had immensely contributed for the common security of both the nations. He also remembered the Indian soldiers who sacrificed their lives in the Second World War and said,
भारतीय सैनिकों ने भी लाखों की संख्या में इस वर्ल्ड वॉर में भाग लिया और हमें भी काफी कैजुअलिटीज का सामना करना पड़ा है। हमारे कई सैनिक युद्ध में सोवियत आर्मी को सहायता पहुंचाने के लिए भी कार्यरत थे। यह काफी गौरव का विषय है। यह हमारे दोनों देशों के आर्म फोर्सेज के बीच एवरलास्टिंग फ्रेंडशिप की एक मिसाल है।
The meeting of Indian and Russian defense ministers holds high significance in terms of early procurement of S-400 anti-missile system from Russia. Russian President Vladimir Putin is likely to visit India later this year.
Russia has supported India's bid for a permanent seat at the United Nations Security Council, UNSC. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said a Russia, India and China RIC meeting discussed probable reforms of the United Nations, and India is a strong nominee to become a permanent member of the UNSC. He said Moscow supports India's candidacy and believes India can become a full-fledged member of the Security Council. Foreign ministers of the RIC discussed reforms of the United Nations during the trilateral meet held through video conferencing. UNSC comprises 5 permanent members and 10 non-permanent members. India has been elected as non-permanent member of the UN Security Council for a 2-year term recently. India's 2-year term will begin on January 1st, 2021. India has announced to contribute $10 million to the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine refugees in the Near East, UNRWA, over the coming 2 years. Addressing an extraordinary virtual ministerial pledging conference for UNRWA, Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan said yesterday that capacity enhancement through training and building durable institutions is a major plank of developmental assistance to Palestine. Asserting that UNRWA needs continued support, Mr. Muralidharan said when certain countries withdrew funding, India had stepped up its annual pledge from $1.25 million to $5 million in 2018. He said for this year, India has already disbursed $2 million and will soon be remitting the balance $3 million. He said India provides 250 annual scholarships to Palestinian youth and officials apart from regular customized training programs, and our current project grant is around $72 million.
Indian government has decided to reduce the staff strength of Pakistan High Commission in New Delhi by 50%. Ministry of External Affairs MEA said that the behavior of Pakistan and its officials is not in conformity with the Vienna Convention and bilateral agreements on the treatment of diplomatic and consular officials. MEA added, on the contrary, it is an intrinsic element of a larger policy of supporting cross-border violence and terrorism. MEA referred to the recent abduction at gunpoint of 2 Indian officials in Pakistan who were subjected to severe ill treatment. Foreign Ministry said that the act underlines the extent to which Pakistan has gone in this direction. The abducted officials, after their return to India, have provided graphic details of the barbaric treatment that they experienced at the hands of Pakistani agencies. In this connection, the Chargé d'Affaires of Pakistan was summoned to the Ministry of External Affairs yesterday and informed that India had repeatedly expressed concern about the activities of officials of Pakistan High Commission. It said that the Pakistani officials have been engaged in acts of espionage and maintained dealings with terrorist organizations. Foreign Ministry also highlighted the activities of the 2 officials caught red-handed and were expelled last month as a glaring example It said that Pakistan has engaged in a sustained campaign to intimidate the officials of the Indian High Commission in Islamabad from carrying on their legitimate diplomatic functions. Indian High Commission will also reduce its staff strength in Islamabad to 50% in the next 7 days. Maharashtra Police has said that Chinese hackers have attempted over 40,000 cyber attacks on India's information technology infrastructure and banking sector during the past 5 days. Special Inspector General of Police Cyber Wing Yashasvi Yadav said collection of data shows that most of the attacks originated from Chengdu area in China. He said the attacks were aimed at causing trouble in banking, infrastructure and IT services like hijacking of internet protocol and phishing. Police have asked internet users to pay attention to such attacks, create robust firewalls and conduct cyber security audits. According to Maharashtra Cyber Cell officials, these hackers are suspected to have database of some 20 lakh Indian email IDs.
Madhya Pradesh government has decided to promote all college students and provide them admission in the next semester without any exams. More from our correspondent.
Over 17,77,000 students in the state will be benefited by this decision at the undergraduate and postgraduate level. However, any such student who wants further improvement in his grade through examinations will also have the option to attempt the exam. Meanwhile, all schools in the state will remain closed till July 31st. Apart from this, for those students of class 12 who have not been able to take the 12th examination due to any reason, the examination will be conducted once again. Principal Secretary, School Education informed that the 10th and 12th board examinations have been completed in the state. The result of 10th is expected in the first week of July, while the result of 12th is expected in the third week of the July. He informed that arrangements are being made to distribute books to children starting next week. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's call to find new opportunities in the coronavirus pandemic has given a fillip to the local industries in the country. Prime Minister Modi's call of vocal for local has given a boost to the local manufacturer of the Union Territories of Diu, Daman and Dadra Nagar Haveli. More from our correspondent.
Local manufacturers of Daman and Dadra Nagar Haveli have got new boost after the Prime Minister's call of vocal for local. Apart from tourism, this area of Union Territory has large number of industrial units. They are producing various household articles, fans, furnitures, garments, etc. but now selling their product with brand of Made in India. One plastic manufacturer, Ajay Baheti, said that vocal for local will help to achieve Atmanirbhar Bharat.
मेरा नाम अजय बाहेती है, डायनेस्टी प्लास्टिक दमन. जैसे कि हम लोग हाउस प्लास्टिक आइटम बनाने में है, अभी हम हमारे प्रोडक्ट के ऊपर बड़े गर्व से बड़े अक्षरों में मेड इन इंडिया लिखते हैं और उसको इंडिया में ही बेचना और इंडिया से बाहर भी हम एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं. अगर हम निरंतर प्रयास करें और प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र जी मोदी का हम इसको फॉलो करें, सब चीजें जो बाहर से भी आती थी अभी तक उसको हम अपने यहाँ पे बनाने का कोशिश करें, ऐसा हो सकता है अगर हम निरंतर प्रयास में रहेंगे.
Laborers are hopeful to get more work.
दयालाल प्रसाद है, मैं डायनेस्टी प्लास्टिक प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी में काम करता हूँ. यह कंपनी मेड इन इंडिया की प्रोडक्ट बनाती है. आगे आशा करता हूँ कि यह प्रोडक्ट विदेशों में भी बेची जाए. मुझे भी खुशी है कि हम लोग को रोजगार दिया है.
Now customers also demanding made in India product.
हम इंडिया का प्रोडक्ट खरीदे हैं और इंडिया का ही लेंगे और हम इंडिया का प्रोडक्ट लेंगे तो हमारे भाई बहनों को रोजी रोटी मिलेगी और इंडिया का विकास होगा.
With Pradeep Bhavsar in Daman, Yogesh Pandya, Air News, Ahmedabad.
Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Rozgar Abhiyan was launched by the central government to provide employment to the migrant labourers near their native places. The tribal-dominated Dhar district of the state has also been included in the scheme with other 23 districts of Madhya Pradesh. A report.
With the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Rozgar Abhiyan, the migrant labourers are dreaming of their secured future. Lali Bai, a migrant labourer who returned from Gujarat to Jaitpura village due to corona epidemic, is thanking the Prime Minister for this noble initiative.
यहाँ हमारे कुछ रोजगार नहीं था और सरपंच और मंत्री साहब ने हमको रोजगार दिया और प्रधानमंत्री को धन्यवाद.
Sarpanch Munnalal Rana of Gram Panchayat Jaitpura says that this scheme will benefit the laborers as well as the Gram Panchayat.
प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो योजना चालू करी उसमें मजदूरों का भी फायदा है और पंचायत का विकास का भी कार्य हो रहा है.
Dhar collector Alok Kumar Singh said that necessary arrangements have been made for the employment of 30,000 migrant laborers who have returned to the district.
जो जिले में 33,000 लोग बाहर से आए थे उसमें 11,000 परिवार थे और बाकी बच्चे और छोटे लोग थे, तो इन सभी 11,000 का रजिस्ट्रेशन ऐप पे किया जा चुका है. इनको जॉब कार्ड भी उपलब्ध कराए जा चुके हैं. इनको विभिन्न रोजगारों में जोड़ा गया है.
In this difficult time of corona pandemic, the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Rozgar Abhiyan is proving to be a boon for migrant laborers. With Sunil Sachan from Dhar, Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
Indian Railways will process full refund for all train tickets booked on or prior to April 14 this year for the regular timetable trains. In a statement, Railways said that all such tickets will be cancelled and full refund will be generated as per the existing provisions. And now, let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The minimum temperature in the national capital Delhi was 26 degrees Celsius, while maximum is expected to be around 35 degrees Celsius. The city may have thunderstorm with rain today. Mumbai will have a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The minimum temperature was at 25, while maximum will be around 32. In the south, Chennai will see generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The maximum temperature will be around 38, while minimum was 28. Kolkata has a partially cloudy sky today with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature around 27, while the maximum shall be around 33 degrees Celsius.
On to the north, the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. The minimum temperature was 28 degrees Celsius in Jammu, while maximum is expected to be around 32 degrees Celsius. The city may witness generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. In Srinagar, the minimum temperature was 17, while maximum will be around 25. The city will have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. In Gilgit, the minimum temperature was recorded at 15 and maximum will be around 30. The sky will be generally cloudy with moderate rain. In Muzaffarabad, the city had a minimum temperature of 20, while maximum temperature will be around 34 with generally cloudy sky with moderate rain.
Chandigarh will have a generally cloudy sky with possibility of 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature in the city was recorded at 29, while the maximum will be around 34. In Hyderabad, the maximum temperature shall be around 32. The city will have rain or thunder showers which might occur towards evening or night. Guwahati will have a cloudy sky with light rain. The minimum temperatures shall settle around 27, while the maximum shall hover around 34 degrees Celsius.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Most newspapers today talk about the onset of monsoon. The Tribune informs that monsoon is expected to arrive in Haryana, Punjab, Delhi and Chandigarh over the next 48 hours. Newspapers also take note of mutual consensus between India and China to disengage. The Pioneer states, India-China to pull back troops from face-off points. Historic Jagannath Yatra begins in Puri, sans sea of devotees. The Times of India, on its front page, has a picture of servitors and police personnel pulling the gigantic chariots of Lord Jagannath. The caption reads, Rath Yatra under curfew. Seeing signs of return of consumer spends, the Economic Times states, credit card spends bounce back to near pre-COVID levels. In spite of COVID-19 pandemic having cast a shadow on the overall business activity, 16,000 new companies registered during lockdown, informs the Business Standard. To give further impetus to economy, SEBI relaxes rules for listed companies with stressed assets, writes the Statesman.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Home Minister Amit Shah says 20,000 beds will be added in the national capital by next week for COVID patients. Testing labs for corona go up to 1,000 across the country. Tamil Nadu government imposes 7 days of complete lockdown in Madurai beginning today. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh says Indo-Russia ties are based on special and privileged strategic partnership. Russia supports India's bid for a permanent seat in Security Council, and government decides to reduce staff strength of Pakistan High Commission in New Delhi by 50%. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.